Alright, space travelers, time to build something truly special. A Corvette that looks awesome, flies like a dream and keeps things simple. This Aeron or Atlas style light Corvette is all about performance over clutter. No multi-floor mazes, no awkward stairs, no pointless decor, just pure function and sleek design. It's lightweight, fast to assemble and delivers top-tier performance without any wasted space. You will get instant cockpit access, clean utility and that iconic glowing hull that makes older builds look like museum pieces. And for the cherry on top, I will show you how to roll the best supercharged slot layouts fast and efficiently, pick the best upgrades and even manage Corvette mass production like a pro, including the absolute fastest Corvette module firing method in the game. I value your time, so let's get into this. This design is built with purpose and precision, where every piece matters. The process is simple, beginner-friendly and surprisingly quick, using just a few advanced building tricks that, with my explanation, you will find easy to manage even if you have no prior Corvette building experience in the game. In just a few minutes you will have a sleek Corvette that feels alive in flight, fast, stable and razor-sharp in handling. It avoids all the usual design sins of massive builds that rely on countless construction modules to create overly complex designs. No cramped interiors, no wasted space and no "why did I build this" moments. The glowing hull gives it a futuristic, true sci-fi look and its unique lightning core only adds to the effect, while the compact tech layout keeps everything efficient and ready for future upgrades. Whether you lean toward the Aeron agile look or the Atlas refined style, this hybrid can morph between both almost instantly, a true fusion of performance and beauty. This build is made possible thanks to the new Aeron modules introduced in the Breach update, awarded upon completing Expedition 20 Breach. Unlike standard Corvette construction parts, these can be freely crafted using simple, easy-to-get materials. Some of them, like the Aeron blades, are quite pricey, but don't get too excited about mass crafting them for units. Even though they display a price tag at vendors, selling them yields zero profit. It's a deliberate choice by Hello Games to keep the in-game economy from imploding. Otherwise, crafting and selling Aeron blades would have become the fastest money-printing machine in No Man's Sky history. Luckily, the devs saw that one coming. Also note, these craftable Aeron modules can't be traded for advanced modules at the Corvette workshop terminal. Now let's look at the modules required for construction and the reasoning behind each choice. 1 landing gear. You will need this only at the start to set up the foundation. Once the foundation is ready, we will remove it, because let's be honest, that thing sticking out ruins the look worse than space dust on a fresh paint job. Thunderbird class cockpit, hub and walkway. Any cockpit, hub and walkway combo works, but I personally prefer the Thunderbird design. The Titan interior looks like a floating space prison and the Ambassador feels more like flying a luxury penthouse than an actual starship. Thunderbird sits right in the middle, clean, practical and perfectly balanced. Just make sure not to mix designs like a Titan hub with an Ambassador walkway to maintain a consistent interior style. Titan class landing bay. A must. The Ambassador version is shorter and leaves an awkward gap under the rear engine. And we are building perfection here, not ventilation shafts. 2 mag-filled landing thrusters. These keep the Corvette levitating beautifully, then stationary, and they are slim enough to preserve that sleek Aeron Atlas vibe. Way better than chunky landing gear. Highly recommend for all smaller Corvettes to maintain a clean and streamlined look. Heavy linkage. Use any support module you like, but the heavy linkage red and black theme fits the Aeron style like it was made for it. 2 Ceto class reactors, my personal favorite. Those swirling lightning beams look phenomenal and create a pulsating electric heart inside the ship. I used to think these reactors only worked for huge starships, but with the right placement they will fit perfectly here. This is exactly why this Corvette is named Aeron Lightning. Twin dynamo jets. Combine these with the Ceto reactors to turn that blue lightning into glowing red energy during flight, perfectly matching the Aeron aesthetic. They also add 2 extra exhaust trails that align beautifully with our main wide-body thruster, giving the triple engine symmetry with Aeron drives. Wide-body thruster adds that powerhouse look on the rear. After all, Corvettes are large ships that need a strong boost. infra-knife platform or weapon of choice. Keep in mind that weapon modules add a permanent weapon type to your Corvette's tech slots. If you are not a fan of certain weapons, don't install modules like the exclusive Deadeye cannon just for aesthetics, because removing it would require replacing it with another weapon module. Choose wisely. We already have to deal with the unremovable phase cannon by default, so adding more unnecessary weapon clutter isn't ideal. Phase beam array or another weapon of choice. Yes, I'm aware that stacking them currently multiplies damage due to a bug, but this build is about clean design and efficiency, not bug abuse. Just one is enough. 2 Aeron drives, the star of the show. These new glowing drives complete the design and tie everything together visually and functionally. Aeron pillar, the perfect glowing accent piece. There is simply no alternative that fits as well. 6 Aeron blades. These glowing blades define the look. They are the ship's wings, fins and style statement all in one. Aeron winglet. Since there is still no dedicated Aeron cockpit, this module helps visually upgrade the Thunderbird cockpit into a glowing Aeron-like version. Once a proper Aeron cockpit drops, you can safely remove it. And for the final touch, install the Aeron Trail or Cadmium Trail from the Quicksilver Merchant for 800 Quicksilver. It completes the whole visual harmony. Just remember that the Aeron Trail has the lowest priority among all current Starship trails and will be overwritten by any hours. So if you really like its design, don't install additional trails on your Corvette. You will lose a tiny bit of maneuverability from the hidden adjacency bonus with maneuverability boosting figurines, but if you prefer the look of the Aeron Trail, it's totally worth it. Pro tip: if you missed the bridge expedition, don't worry. Since Aeron parts are now craftable, they can also be shared between players. Ask your friends or our players aboard the Space Anomaly to give them to you. And if you'd rather earn them yourself, you will get another chance soon. Bridge expedition will return between December 31st and January 13, so make sure you don't miss it this time. Before beginning construction, make a restore point by entering and exiting your starship. It's always smart to have a safety net for any kind of building process in No Man's Sky. Now let's build the Aeron Lightning. Start by placing a landing gear to set the foundation. Then snap a Thunderbird class hub on top. Once it's constructed, delete the landing gear. We are not dragging that bulky leg around space. Add the Thunderbird class cockpit at the front, extend the body with the Thunderbird class walkway, and complete the hull with a Titan class landing bay at the rear. Next, attach 2 Macfield landing thrusters underneath the walkway and rear part of the hub. Beneath the front section of the hub, place an infra-knife platform. On top of the hub, add a heavy linkage just behind the cockpit and place an Aeron winglet over it to mimic the signature Aeron glowing cockpit. Then mount a phase beam array on top of the heavy linkage. Now for a neat little trick, setting up the lightning core. Place 1 Ceta-class reactor adjacent to the heavy linkage on the Thunderbird hub and another slightly overlapping it. This overlapping trick perfectly aligns them across the walkway and landing bay, creating a stunning twin reactor look filled with flickering lightning arcs inside the ship's core. Next, slide the twin dynamo jets inside the first Ceta-class reactor, and yes, the game actually allows merging these modules. This merges the red engine trails with the blue lightning of the reactor, producing a fiery red and blue energy storm at the Corvette's heart in flight, and it looks absolutely incredible and one of a kind. Finish the main hull by adding a wide-body thruster behind the second Ceta-class reactor just above the landing bay. Now let's handle the visuals. We are going for a two-tone style, so it's easier to recolor before adding wings and decorations. Choose white and black colors with a metallic finish and apply it to the entire Corvette. Then select the twin dynamo jets, recolor them red and light gray and also in metallic finish. After that, recolor the Ceta-class reactors, phase beam array, infra-knife platform and both Macfield landing thrusters to match with red and light gray tone. Here is a useful trick. The game remembers your last used color scheme, so all modules added afterward will automatically match, perfect for the upcoming Aeron parts. Now it's time for the wings. Attach two Aeron blades on the left front side of the hull, one above the other, aligning their sharp edges with the Aeron winglet at the front. Repeat the same on the right side, making sure both sides are perfectly mirrored. Then attach a single Aeron blade to the upper rear right side so it slightly overlaps the front one with its inner semicircle adjacent to the second City class reactor. Repeat this on the left for perfect symmetry. Place an Aeron pillar on top of a second City class reactor aligned with the rear Aeron blades. Then finish the design by mounting two Aeron drives on each side. Apply edits, and there it is! Your Aeron Lightning is ready to claim. Just make sure you've got space in your Starship fleet before you do. Take a moment to admire it. The glowing Aeron elements blend beautifully and the lightning core pulses like a living heart. The combination of black hull, red highlights and blue lightning gives it a predatory, futuristic look, sleek yet aggressive, as if it was born from energy itself, ready to embark on an unforgettable hunt across the most challenging badlands of No Man's Sky. Since some decorative parts slightly block the cockpit view, I recommend piloting this Corvette in third person to fully enjoy its stunning exterior in flight. Still, this combination of modules offers a decent first-person view if that's your preference. Now fire up the engines and watch the triple crimson trail streak through space. The red and blue lightning in the ship's core looks absolutely breathtaking, like a thunderstorm trapped inside the machine. When it comes to interiors, feel free to customize, but keep it light. Overloading the small space with refiners, storage or our interactive modules can cause annoying interaction overlaps, especially around the pilot seat. For functionality and speed, I recommend just a mission radar for Quicksilver missions and maybe a weapon rack if you swap multi-tools often. Place them near the center of the hull to keep cockpit access clear and hassle-free. And that's it, your Aeron lighting is complete. Look awesome, right? But stay tuned, because with just a few tweaks you can transform this sleek speedster into a more massive and imposing Atlas variant in no time. To transform your Aeron Lightning into the Atlas variant, all you need to do is replace both Aeron drives with wings of Aeron. Then recolor them to match the rest of the ship, red and light grey with a metallic finish. And that's it, 2 quick swaps and your Aeron Lightning turns into a whole new beast. The change might look small on paper, but visually it's a complete evolution. Those wings of Aeron gives the rear of the ship a heavier, more dominant feel, true Atlas style muscle. The new wings also replace the Aeron drive's side rails and remove their corresponding tech modules from your Corvette's tech section. So instead of 9 red exhaust rails slicing through space, you will now have 3 central crimson streaks piercing straight through the glowing blue lightning heart. Hard to believe how just 2 module swaps can completely change the ship's character, right? Now we are getting into the real science behind Corvette building. The part many players never figure out. Supercharged slot placement is one of the trickiest systems in No Man's Sky, and understanding how it works will save you hours of frustration and a mountain of nanites. Supercharged slots in Corvettes are determined by a hidden internal seat, and this seat is locked in the moment you start building your Corvette. Unlike regular starships where replacing parts changes the seat and therefore the slot layout, Corvettes work differently. Once you start a new Corvette build, the game immediately assigns its slot positions. Changing modules later or even heavily modifying the Corvette afterward won't ever alter that layout. Even the space station matters. Each one generates a slightly different internal seat which affects where your supercharged slots appear. But the key takeaway is this: once you begin building, that layout is set in stone for that Corvette. So how can you use this to your advantage? The fastest and most efficient way to get your perfect layout is to build a simple, minimalistic Corvette using only a few basic modules purchased at the Corvette workshop terminal. Don't waste advanced modules yet. Once it's assembled, go to a Starship outfitting terminal, upgrade it to S-Class, and if needed, unlock the first 4 rows of tech slots to check the positions of the supercharged slots, as all 4 will always appear within these rows and never beyond them. If you like the layout, congrats, you've got your foundation. You can now go back to the workshop and modify the Corvette however you want. Add new parts, redesign it completely, make it look like a space predator. That supercharged slots layout will never change. If you don't like the layout, reload autosave, but be quick as the game overwrites it every minute. After claiming the Corvette, you will need to upgrade it and check the supercharged slots fast. If done correctly, the whole process can be completed in about 40 seconds. It's a bit of a speedrun, but worth it to avoid wasting units and time. If you miss the timing window, don't worry. You can still use restore point created when claiming a new Corvette to roll back upgrade spendings. And since Corvettes can't be scrapped like regular starships, here is a neat workaround. Simply exchange your unwanted Corvette for a landed NPC starship. It's free and you can scrap that ship afterward to clear fleet space and maybe even earn a bit of profit if the NPC ship is valuable. Swapping any Corvette for an A or S-Class hauler with lots of unlocked slots can even give you a nice amount of units when you scrap it. For new players, all this might sound a little overwhelming, but once you get used to it, it's a game changer. You will be able to lock in the best possible supercharged slot layout for your dream Corvette, a layout that stays perfect forever no matter how much you rebuild or customize. And next, we will dive one layer deeper into the advanced mechanics, the real pro-level tricks for efficiently rolling top-tier supercharged layout across multiple Corvettes so you can assemble an entire fleet of them. If you start a new expedition in your main save via the expedition terminal at the Space Anomaly, you can use the exclusive Equipment Synthesis feature to create a copy of your Corvette from the main save into the expedition mode. Once you reach the Space Anomaly in that mode, you can copy it to the expedition mode and then back to your main save, effectively cloning your primary Corvette along with its perfect supercharged slots layout and best upgrades installed. Here is a pro trick to make this possible. To clone a regular starship from expedition mode back to your main save, you first need to place the starship you want to clone into the storage hangar aboard the freighter. This allows the game to create an hour copy, otherwise the Equipment Synthesis feature remains inactive. However, with Corvettes this won't work directly, because Corvettes cannot be placed in the storage hangar. The game will therefore prevent you from creating a copy of a Corvette from the expedition mode, since you already own one in your main save. Here is where a pro-level workaround comes in. Simply modify your existing Corvette in the main save by swapping a few parts. The game will now treat it as a different starship, allowing you to copy your best supercharged slots layout Corvette from expedition mode into your main save, so you can have 2 of them. You can repeat this process as many times as needed. Each clone costs around 3000 nanites, but it saves tons of time. For future builds, you will already have extra Corvettes with the best possible supercharged slot layout ready to modify. Some insane pro-level techniques involved here, right? If you want to master the Equipment Synthesis feature and learn all the details of how it works, including how to maximize gains from each expedition and boost your main save, check out my Ultimate No Man's Sky Expeditions Guide 2025, which explains all hidden expedition profits in detail. Now let's go full house. How can you get the most out of cloning your primary Corvettes from expeditions beyond just acquiring the best supercharged slots and upgrades? Corvette replication can also maximize the efficiency of advanced Corvette module farming. Here is how. Assemble a Corvette in your main save using the maximum number of advanced modules you want. Then create a copy in the expedition and clone it back to your main save. Once cloned, you can remove all advanced modules, replace them with the minimum amount of basic modules required to assemble a draft Corvette. Discard it via the NPC pilot, as discussed earlier, and repeat as many times as needed to farm the advanced modules you want. Of course, this method requires initial farming of advanced modules the usual way, but once you have enough, you will no longer need to spend time farming them manually. This approach may feel boring to some, since it removes the exploration flavor of hunting for advanced modules across the universe. But for players short on time, it's a viable option. And if this method doesn't excite you, simply don't use it. No Man's Sky always gives you the choice to take shortcuts or explore at your own pace. Combine these methods and you could fill your active fleet with cloned Corvettes equipped with the maximum number of advanced modules and perfect supercharged slots for your future builds. This is how we rock! Once your Corvette is claimed, it's time to upgrade. Head to a Starship outfitting terminal and upgrade it to S-Class for 85,000 nanites. Expanding all tech and cargo slots will cost well over 10 million units. If you are short on cash or nanites, don't worry, I've got both guides on my channel showing the fastest and most efficient farming methods in the game. Next, it's time to install tech upgrades. Adjacency bonuses matter, so plan your layout carefully. Combining upgrades like the photonics core, maneuverability boosting figurines and engine trails lets you fine-tune performance while keeping your Corvette sleek, responsive and battle ready. Here is something important that some players might miss. Specific Corvette modules that boost Corvette performance also provide adjacency bonuses to regular Starship tech, such as launch thrusters or pulse engines. Proper arrangement can significantly increase your Corvette's overall stats, so positioning truly matters. Unfortunately, there is still one super annoying bug plaguing Corvette owners across all platforms. After almost every restart, the game randomly scrambles installed Corvette modules in the text section, breaking adjacency bonuses. You will have to manually rearrange them every time to restore those boosts. It's been several months since the Voyager's update added Corvettes, and despite numerous patches, these issues still persist. Do you think Hello Games will ever fix it, or it is tied to the deeper building bugs that have plagued the game for years, like regrowing modules on rearranged freighters? Let me know in the comments. Now, what about the best possible supercharged slot layout for a Corvette? If you've seen my Ultimate Starships guide, you already know the principles and they apply perfectly here. That guide, over an hour long, is the most detailed and advanced Starship breakdown ever made on YouTube, covering how to prioritize stats, position upgrades, and explaining why 4 aligned supercharged slots aren't the best setup for Starships, including Corvettes. By applying all the Starship upgrading principles from that guide, I managed to push the maneuverability of the Aeron Lightning on normal difficulty with standard enemy strength to over 1.6k using just one supercharged slot for pulse engine tech, and achieve infra-knife damage of over 80k with 3 supercharged slots allocated. That's insane performance and nearly matches the stats of the best regular Starships with all upgrades installed. If you would rather focus on agility instead of combat, you can push maneuverability close to 4k with around 31k infra-knife damage by assigning all 4 supercharged slots to maneuverability upgrades. The exact numbers depend on your slot layout, but the result is unbelievable. This Corvette flies almost like a light Starship with razor-sharp handling and instant response. It's something you have to feel yourself. That level of control just can't be conveyed through a video. With the right upgrades and smart supercharge planning, your Aeron or Atlas type Corvette can reach jaw-dropping performance levels. This agile Starship doesn't just look stunning, it flies with precision, speed and control that makes every dogfight or planetary descent feel smooth and powerful. Whether you aim for pure combat efficiency or unmatched flight responsiveness, the Corvette can be tuned exactly to your style. So take the time to perfect your setup and enjoy mastering one of the most advanced ships in No Man's Sky. Thank you for watching, hit that like to promote the video for more viewers and subscribe to support the channel if this video helped you. I've got plenty more No Man's Sky guides and showcases coming soon. Oodalooper out, see you in the next one, best Corvette owners!